Hey, what is up, guys? My name is David Lee and I'm Asian with Hat, and I wanted to talk about the newest GoPro, the GoPro Hero 8, and why I'm not impressed. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should not buy the GoPro Hero 8. Stay tuned. So let's talk about my history with using GoPro cameras. I've been using GoPro ever since I want to say about 2012. This is my first GoPro I've ever had. This is the GoPro Hero 2. And just to show it off, this is extremely beat up. More than anything you've probably ever seen. This is very beat up. There's something that is built up on here. It's just straight up gum that is just built up on this GoPro. This has been gone to hell and back. And it's still by far one of my favorite GoPro cameras from back in the day, mainly because I can get 5 hours out of this, or 2.5 hours per battery. And then you have a battery backpack that you can slap on here. Lo and behold, you get, 5 hours out of your GoPro without even having to connect a charger to your GoPro. Another thing that I really like about this GoPro from back in the day is that they actually included a little mic jack. You see this right here? This is a 3.5 mic jack that I could just slap onto the GoPro. It's so simple. When I move up to the GoPro Hero 4 right here, this is the longest running GoPro I've ever owned. I've owned this GoPro, I want to say since 2014, around 2014. And the one thing that they actually removed was actually the mic jack. Now, $10 is honestly nothing. I want to say it was actually more like $20 at Best Buy back in the day. Nowadays, you could find these mic jacks from aftermarket places for like $10. I think this is actually a Movo aftermarket mic that you could actually slap onto your GoPro Hero 4 and the Hero 3. Now, here's the thing. I didn't really like the Hero 3 back in the day just because there's a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. The marketing that was going on with the Hero 3 was phenomenal. You actually could get 4K. No, I don't think you could get 4K back then on the Hero 3. Either way, the Hero 3 Black was known for being a really great low light camera for what you could do with it. When you hit low light, it was still decent enough back then. Then you had the Hero 4, which I think was the camera that convinced me to actually upgrade from my Hero 2. A $10 mic adapter to put on here, I can tolerate that. And then one way that I could get around, having to deal with, not having a charge adapter or having a charge port is that I put a battery backpack on here and then I could connect it up, Bob's your uncle, and that's it. It was very easy to charge up everything, still have my quality mic, and I had no problem using this setup for years. I think when I got the GoPro Hero 5, I still use this thing to hell. I still actually have my secondary GoPro Hero 4. I actually bought a secondary GoPro Hero 4 just so that way I can actually have someone else running my GoPro. Moving up to the Hero 5, 6, and 7. The one thing I really dislike about it is that they try to keep it low profile, don't get me wrong. But the fact that I had to spend $50 on a dongle, that is pretty much an Apple move. And if you guys don't know about me, I really, really dislike Apple with a dying passion. And this is just, coming from back in 2013 when Final Cut 7 transitioned to Final Cut X and you had no option. You either went to Final Cut X or you didn't. So what I'm trying to get to is that the Hero 5, 6, and 7 was a lot more, I could tolerate it, but there are still flaws with it. And then the Hero 7 had a lot of issues when it came to overheating. When it came to the Hero 7, there was a lot of overheating issues. And I was not a fan of the Hero 7 when it came to the overheating issue. The solution was, and this is a tip, shout out to Alphonse, he told me, take the battery out and you won't have an issue. But here's the problem. When you take out the battery out of your GoPro Hero 7, you actually lose your dates with your recording. So if I'm recording something, everything is now set to like 1969 for some reason. That's kind of annoying. Now I had to actually go back into the camera, reset the date, and still put the GoPro back on. So if you even hit like 85 plus degrees, the GoPro will overheat while charging the camera. I think that's stupid. Hero 5 and 6, they didn't really have that issue, but on the Hero 7, for some reason, they had an issue. Now, let's move on to the Hero 8. I have a lot of issues with the design of the Hero 8. First thing I have to say is the battery life is I want to say still an hour, but here's the thing. You have to use the proprietary GoPro Hero 8 battery. You can't use your Hero 5, 6, or 7 battery. Now, when you actually turn on the GoPro, it will say battery notice, use the GoPro battery for Hero 8 Black, which is basically the blue label battery, to enable all your camera's features. In an article, we'll put it up on camera. Basically, it says you can't use any of the Hero 6 or 7 or the 5 batteries, all the legacy GoPro batteries in this camera without losing features. And those features are something like hyper smooth or something like that. I'm not a fan of hyper smooth, and the main reason why I don't use image stabilization in my camera is that it gives a very much unrealistic feeling, if that makes any sense. When you use a helmet camera back in the day, I preferred that shaky look, and it gave more attention to your footage. Now, I digress from that. I don't think that's a good idea that GoPro made it proprietary again, and now we lose features. Let's talk about some other things that goes on with the GoPro. I'm not a fan of this battery door. Now, when you see that I'm actually taking off this battery door, it's very easy to take off. I'm not a fan of that, because if I try and take this off, the first time I took it off, I actually flung off the door, and I had to actually try and find it among my house when I was actually trying to open it for the first time. I'm really not a fan of this door. I think that this is actually kind of a flaw. I think they could have done a better job on making this a lot tighter on the GoPro. I just don't like that. Another thing that I don't like on this GoPro, the fact that you have all of your battery and the memory card in one place, along with your USB port. Now I have to actually expose my battery and my memory card to the weather. When I used my GoPro Hero 7, 5, and 6, I didn't have to deal with that as much. Matter of fact, on my Hero 5 and Hero 6, I want to say I've gone through a lot of torrential rain with them, including with the dongle, and it had no problem. Now I'm very much for sure not going to be able to use this in torrential weather, and that's not a good thing. It's really easy to get water in there now, and now I have to figure out a way to actually fix that issue if I have to drive through torrential rain, or play through torrential rain. So let's get on to the next thing I dislike about this GoPro, the dongle. Now, there's really no way to use this on here. It still works on here, although I'm actually getting some impedance issues with this again. I don't know why I keep getting this impedance issue, but if you look at some of the other issues that I've had with the GoPro, you actually see in some of the older GoPro videos with the Hero 7 or the Hero 6, but there would be this popping sound that would creep up in my footage. Now, you guys wouldn't notice that, I can, and that is kind of annoying. The fact is that this is still a flaw that I have to deal with. This dongle is the bane of my existence, and it's $50. I've actually had to replace my older dongle with a newer dongle, mainly because the impedance issue was starting to become an issue, and there were times where this would not work. So, can I use this with this? Most likely, but I'm still going to have to figure out a way to actually make this usable, and that's kind of a chap in my ass. Now, let's get on to another thing. Another dongle. If you were to buy the GoPro shotgun mic that actually has a, I want to say, decently placeable mic jack, it's going to cost you $100. GoPro is really trying to out-Apple Apple. I don't really like that idea that I would have to actually use another housing to put on here to actually get a mic. I don't even know if it's really going to be decent. And it's going to be $100. This is a $400 GoPro. DJI has a camera that is like the GoPro for only $315. You're telling me that I have to go spend another $100? I pretty much have to have a $500 GoPro setup to actually be functionable. That is ridiculous. For $100, that could be used for something else, more SD cards, something like that. this is getting really ridiculous that I would have to go spend another $100 just to make a GoPro more functionable. Not a fan of this either. I'm still gonna buy that shotgun mic just because I want to see if the mic is still gonna be good. And if it's not gonna be good, then I'll use my $30 mic. If you guys don't know, I've been using this mic for years. This is a $30 mic from Edutige. This mic I used in my Hero 2, Hero 4, Hero 5, 6, and 7, and it just blows all the mic quality out of the water that is stock on all the GoPros. Hero 2 is bad, Hero 4 is bad, Hero 5 and 6 is bad, 7, Hero 8 doesn't sound any better. I like using this $30 mic. I don't really think that the shotgun mic is going to get any better, but I'm going to buy that shotgun mic mainly because it's going to be a lot more lower profile than having this, just because it's going to be fit around that GoPro. One thing to also mention, that dongle, that shotgun mic that you want to buy with that GoPro is not even out right now. This is the same thing I've had to deal with this. I had to wait a month or two before it came out, before I could actually use this. But, oh, by the way, for a while, you could not buy that aftermarket mic, or you could not buy that mic input to actually go with your GoPro. So we don't even know if GoPro is going to be really good about taking care of keeping these items in stock. And here we go again. We have to go pre-order. Is it going to be in stock when it comes to holiday time? It's only going to be a couple months before it's Christmas time. And by the time it's Christmas, everyone's going to be probably buying that aftermarket mic because we need that mic input. One bonus thing to talk about on this GoPro that I find a con on here is the front lens element. Now here's the thing. This is a very, very minuscule difference when it comes to that height difference. I really don't think anyone's going to notice that when you put it in your pocket versus here. And I would much prefer to actually take off my front lens element off my GoPro. I just took it off. It's not that hard. But they claim that this front lens element is going to be a lot more durable than the previous GoPros that have actually had, a removable glass, or you had it in a case. I really don't believe in that. I'm pretty sure someone out there is going to try and do a test shot or a test to see if it's actually going to be very durable. Although I will personally say this, I think Mark from Brain Exploder is probably going to take a test at this and see if it's actually going to work well at all. Like the Hero Session, it wasn't that durable. I don't think this is going to be any more durable than the Hero Session. So we'll see in the future if anyone's going to do it. Because if this gets smashed out, GoPro is not going to warranty it. They're going to replace the GoPro. They're not going to repair the GoPro, which I think is absurd. Not to mention, this is going to be, exposed more than anything, and now I got to deal with the front lens element if it gets scratched or if it gets shot out. I didn't really have to deal with that on my original case. I didn't have to deal with this on the GoPro, although I've gotten scratches on here, and all I have to do is just replace that front lens element on this one. I think it's stupid that I can't replace the front lens element on this GoPro. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the GoPro issues that I have with the Hero 8. If you guys have any complaints, please leave them in the comment section down below. I really do enjoy talking to you guys about some of the things in the videos. And if you guys like the video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to Asian with Hat. And if you guys dislike this video, be sure to hit the dislike button twice. I'll see you guys in the next video.